All right, now that you're going to be creating the actual frame out of clay, you're going to need a lot more clay. So your pieces are much, much bigger now. You still going to want to wedge your clay. Push down, roll back. Then it really is important now that it's a big rock of clay that you flatten it with your CPR hands. And I need to fit this stencil on the clay. So as I flatten it, I want to smush the clay to already look like the shape of that stencil. So remember that I don't want to push my clay lower than my guide sticks. When I look at this and I get down low next to my table, my clay should be higher than my guide stick before I start to roll this out. Okay, so this is already going to set me up to be successful because I have smushed it to be more like a rectangle shape. You have to have those guide sticks under you at all times while you're rolling, and then we put the rolling pin in the middle of the clay and we roll away from us. I kind of roll at a diagonal to stretch those corners a little bit more. And then I want to check to see, is it going to get wide enough for my stencil? And then I'm going to roll from the middle towards me. Again, I'm kind of rolling at a diagonal to stretch that clay. So I'm getting close to the shape, but I've got a big lump in the middle of this. So I need to now move that clay out from the middle to the edges. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to roll from the opposite side. So it's not quite big enough for my stencil yet. So again, I'm still rolling at a diagonal to move that clay to the corners. So I'm almost there. So I can always move my guide sticks at a different angle so that as I'm rolling that clay, I'm always hitting my guide sticks. Otherwise, your clay is going to get too thin. Okay, so this is almost there. I just need to stretch this bottom corner. That was an air bubble that just popped. So if I pick this up, that crack right there was an air bubble. That's an air bubble where this thumb is. So I can sometimes just see those air bubbles and bend the clay and they'll pop. Okay, I'm going to check my stencil. That fits pretty well. So now I still have too much clay in the center. So now what I can do is turn my clay a quarter turn, still get those guide sticks next to the clay. And now when I stretch that clay, it's gonna move it out in a wider position. Okay, that is a really big air bubble right there that I need to pop. All right, when I think I'm finished, I'm going to push as hard as I can. Make sure the guide sticks are underneath you. Your clay should be perfectly smooth and flat, and it should be the height of those guide sticks. What I'm doing right now is just using gentle hand pressure to wipe the clay to pop any air bubbles that I see. Okay, now I'm going to put that stencil on top. I'm going to use my fettling knife. I'm going to stand that knife up tall and hold that stencil with the hand that's not holding the knife. I press down until it hits the tabletop, and then I'm just going to slide that right along my stencil. I want my knife standing up tall because I don't want to cut under the stencil. You should not use your stencil until you really have rolled your clay out to be bigger than the stencil. If you have tried it at least 2 times and you're still not successful, ask somebody to help you or get my attention. It could be that you just didn't get enough clay to begin with to make it big enough to fit. Okay, so now I'm going to take this scrap clay away and save that. And I'm also going to take this scrap piece away and save that. Because now I can use all this extra clay to make my 3D pieces to show my theme. All right, so you are going to be getting a board, a bag, and a rag to place your clay on at the end of the period. So at the end of the period, what you're going to do is set your board on your table. You're going to open up that rag completely flat over the board. Then you're going to be moving your clay piece to the rag. And you always want to position that clay so it looks like the shape that it should. And then you're going to fold the extra rag over the top. Make sure that you're actually on the board. So I'm not on the board. My clay is hanging off the edge of the board, so I need to move that so it's really directly on the board. The board is stabilizing your clay and keeping it flat, but also you can now just pick up the board to move your clay, and you're not going to put fingerprints and smash your clay. Then you're going to take this entire board and you're going to move it to the bottom of the bag. Then all you're going to do is take the extra plastic and just fold the extra plastic under. Now, these bags have been used before, so if you get a bag that has holes torn in it, show me, because I can give you tape to just tape over the holes. But we wrap our clay in a wet rag so that it's adding moisture to the bag, and then the bag is preventing the air from drying your clay out. So then you would go take this entire project with your reference photos and go place that on your shelf. Then you come back to your tables and you start cleaning up. But those of you who have extra time before it's time for cleanup, you can then start to use your scrap clay to sculpt your thematic pieces based on your photos or based on your drawings. But at the end of the period, extra clay that you're not keeping, you want it to stay flat. So this is already a flat piece. This is great for me to pick up. We never take a big rock of clay and turn it into me, because flat clay turns softer faster overnight, and I can put more flat clay in that bucket. So we do not use a rolling pin to flatten the clay. You just use your CPR hands and you squish it flat like a pancake, and then I will collect those from you, and then you're going to use those red rags to clean off all your tools. Always move your clay project first, then come back to your table and finish cleaning.